It's time for the One Bar and Lupica Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupica Show. I am Lupica here with One Bar in his spiffy new Vikings sweatshirt. Is that a hoodie? It's a zipper?
It is, and it's hoodie season. I love it. It's fall. Oh, I'm going to wear this probably 6 days out of the week.
Well, don't wear it hunting because there's no blaze orange in that thing.
You're right. Never.
All right, today, we're almost a quarter through the season, so it's a good time to look at this Vikings team and pick out who have been the most disappointing Vikings so far, and there's been a lot of them.
Oh, God, this list, we could go with probably 40 people on here, but we're going to pick the most disappointing.
The most disappointing. All right, I'm going to let you kick this one off because I'm a gentleman and a scholar.
Boy, where to start? I'm going to start with an easy one. Irv Smith. I mean, 3 games into the season, he's got 2 receptions, 14 yards, and that's not even my biggest issue. He's out there making boneheaded penalties, and it's very, very odd. I mean, he looks like a rookie out there all of a sudden.
Yeah, he might be my most disappointing player so far. I had such high hopes for him. I thought he was going to have a real big role in this offense. Gary Kubiak specifically pointed him out, many interviews in the preseason about how they're going to try to isolate him, get him open, different looks for him. And what's it equated to? 2 receptions, and he's got, 4 penalties that were drive killers, and every single one. Did it last week, in a key situation, set us back. We were trying to run the clock out. Did it against the Colts a couple times. I don't know what's going on with Irv, but it's not good. And you see, Kyle Rudolph getting the short pass yesterday that's supposed to, pick up yak on that thing, and that should have gone to Irv Smith Jr. Makes you wonder if they're kind of just pulling him out in certain situations, just kind of punish him because he's so shitty right now.
Yeah, and I don't even put the numbers, the 2 for 14, whatever. Our offense has been a crap show, so I don't even put that on him as much. But Gary Kubiak is a guy who turns not great tight ends into pretty good tight ends, and that's why one of the bigger reasons I had such high hopes for him. But yeah, he's plenty of time to turn around, but so far, very, very big disappointment.
And you got to think he's in the doghouse right now for those penalties. So he's got to work his way out of that. So if he's got to make some plays, and that's the only way he can do it is by making some plays and, re-winning the love of the coaching staff.
Re-win that love. Who is number 4 most disappointing Viking?
I'm going to go number 4 because I didn't have super high hopes for this guy, but I was expecting more out of him at this point. That's BC Johnson, another wide receiver. You kind of mentioned the Vikings offense hasn't been exactly lighting the world on fire lately. BC was number 2 going in. I would have thought by now he would have had, 10 catches, close to 100 yards, maybe a touchdown. But I don't know what his stats are. I don't have them in front of me. But uncharacteristic drops against the Colts. I think he had a couple of them. One was a tip that went right to an interception. That's not the BC Johnson we know. It's not the BC Johnson that we saw in the preseason. So, very disappointing start for him right now.
Yeah, I don't know what preseason you were watching, but there was no preseason.
Well, read about.
Yeah, BC 4 for 80. Again, just kind of like Irv Smith, just kind of looks not like he really wants to be out there. It's weird. And BC Johnson, I mean, his ceiling after we drafted Justin Jefferson, ideally he comes in and he's just like a really good number 3. It's probably where he's meant to be. We got a steal with him last year, so maybe our hopes were a little higher than they should have been. But yeah, tough start for BC.
Hey, we'd like to see him in kind of that Jarius Wright role, catching the third down conversion passes, something like that. Just a real niche kind of a role, but he's got no role right now, none whatsoever. I think he played 5 snaps on Sunday.
Yeah, Chad Beebe might have been out there more than him.
Absolutely.
All right, number 3, Ifedi Odenigbo. Man, this was his moment to shine. This was his moment. I mean, nobody wanted Hunter out, but playing opposite Yannick, he really should be putting up some numbers. He's got 6 tackles, not much else, and he has not looked good.
Well, the worst part of it is how he's tweeting after they traded for Yannick Ngakoue. What do you rate, fool's gold or something? If you're going to tweet shit like that, get out there and back it up on the field. Show the team why you're mad, why they shouldn't have traded for somebody. Instead, you're basically non-existent every single game. Talks about unsheathing the sword. Well, I don't know, that sword is shut up his ass right now because it sure as hell ain't on the field. very disappointed with Odenigbo. I had very high hopes for him off that season he had last year with 7 sacks, breakout, playing with fire. He was kind of almost the Justin Jefferson of the defense last year. Just had a hell of a time when he was out there. And I don't even know if he's been out there.
He's been out there, and he's been poor. He is fool's amethyst. He's trying to get a contract too, which is even more surprising. And man, like I said, this was his moment. Maybe he was meant to be a backup. It's too bad.
Yeah, he's failing, and he's failing hard. He looks more like Tito Odenigbo out there this year.
I loved Odenigbo, and I still do. I'm really pulling for this guy. All these guys on the list.
Oh, yeah. This doesn't mean we're giving up on him. We're just very disappointed in these players.
Very disappointed. Next guy who I am way more disappointed than you are, I think. I'm going Eric Wilson, linebacker. Again, this guy finally gets his chance to start the season as a starter. And, he's got 12 tackles. He's got a pick, and which kind of just fell in his hands. I'm not giving him that. But he's looked horrific in pass coverage, just looks lost. He doesn't look special. And this is a guy like Odenigbo who's going to be attempting to make some big old cash this offseason, and he has not done it. Linebackers have looked horrible except for Kendricks.
Yeah, he's making me look like a damn fool with the way he's playing right now. I talked him up all preseason. I had this guy pegged for like the most productive Vikings linebacker this year. We're not seeing any splash plays from him. You mentioned that fluky interception he had, but last year he was in the backfield, forcing fumbles, sacks, swatting away passes, picking off passes. This year you see him like looking backwards as Mo Ali Cox runs by him or something like that. So I don't know what's going on with Eric Wilson, if it's just not getting the work in the preseason, live action, or if he's just not ready to step up and take on more responsibility, whatever it is. This guy's in a critical year in his career, trying to make a bunch of money. And right now we could probably sign him for less than the veteran minimum.
Oh God, is that even possible? And he's been in these moments. He started a lot of games for a guy that's an undrafted linebacker. So it's very confusing. I mean, he was ready.
It makes no sense. I don't know what it is. If it's the shitty guard play in front of him, if bodies are getting to him and he's getting taken out of plays at some point, if that's getting in his head, I don't know what it is. But Eric Wilson needs to turn things around, or Todd Davis is going to take his spot.
Dodler. All right, our final disappointment, and this one has kind of been a little bit of a train wreck. I'll let you throw him out there.
Well, it's Holton Hill. That first game against Devontae Adams, he just got took into the woodshed, bare butt cheeks, spanked hard over and over again. I thought he was a little bit better against the Colts, and he's seen it yesterday against the Titans. Just not even close in coverage. He looks lost out there. Then he's got a chance to redeem himself with a big interception, and it goes right off his hands. This guy was supposed to be one of our most experienced corners. He actually played pretty well as an undrafted rookie for a stretch there. Ever since that suspension, he hasn't quite been the same player. And Vikings really need this guy to step up and get out of his funk. But right now, he's been nothing but a major disappointment.
Yeah, targeted 20 times, allowed 14 receptions. Some of those were very long receptions. He was our veteran out of the group. We're relying heavily on him, and at this point, I don't even know if he should be out there starting, and that's saying something for our corners we got. I mean, maybe they need to throw Chris Boyd's ass out there. Holton Hill is a complete liability. It's gross. Gladney, Dantzler, they're both playing better than him.
Well, I mean, Dantzler hasn't played since week 1, but hopefully he comes back. But Gladney's a guy who just seems to be getting better and better. And if Hughes gets healthy, Dantzler comes back, and Gladney, then maybe you can bump Holton Hill down a little bit. Bench him for a game, or at least demote him for a game, and see if that helps. Because right now, like you said, he's a train wreck.
Train wreck. Well, those are our five disappointing Vikings that hopefully will turn it around in a jiffy.
I'm more of a Skippy guy when it comes to peanut butter.
Really? Oh, not even close. Jif all the way.
All right. Here's a little something for you to chew on that's not peanut butter related. Snakes have 2 penises, and echinadas have a 4-headed one.